audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
The views and opinions expressed by the program host do not necessarily state or reflect the official views and position of Sunshine Radio DZR 1026 Manila, Suarosug Media Corporation, and Sunshine Media Network International.
Good evening. You're watching SMNI. This is Business and Politics, and I'm your host, Dante Klink. Obviously, we're not in the SMNI studio. We're taping today's episode in the newsroom of the Manila Times, where we caught up with our guest, Secretary Renato Soledum Jr. of the Department of Science and Technology. Secretary Soledum is a career public servant, having served in the DOST for 38 years and rising from the ranks. Many probably remember him as officer in charge of PHIVOX, an agency attached to the department that he now heads. Our discussion will cover innovation, science education, and his previous work in disaster risk management. We will begin with, how is DOST modernizing the Philippines? Secretary Soledum, welcome to the Manila Times again. Last time you were here, you were heading PHIVOX,
Yes.
but now you are heading the agency that, the department that PHIVOX is attached to.
Yes.
So, sir, innovation has been in the news lately. There was a new law, I believe, and this is, as I understand, a major program of the Marcos administration. What is DOST's role? How are you? I know what's DOST, but maybe it should come from you. There are many things that you are doing, but with regard to innovation, maybe you can give us a broad overview.
Well, innovation is simply doing something newer, better,
Okay.
so that we can really make an impact to the society. It can be a technology, a process, can be a product. So the Department of Science and Technology always attaches innovation
Okay.
in our work.
Okay.
Because unless we have the innovation, then the impact that we might achieve is not so much.
Okay.
So that is why when we talk about science and technology,
Right.
these days we always append
Yeah.
the word innovation.
Yeah.
And indeed, innovation is critical to really address the different problems that we as a country faces, or even globally.
Right.
And we look at innovation to create jobs,
Right.
to create new enterprises,
Right.
to improve the productivity. So we even have innovative programs just to help various sectors of our society.
Right.
We help micro, small, and medium enterprises. We help the local governments. We help the OFWs. And we have innovative programs to leverage research and development with industry by, one, improving our higher education institution research and development capacity, and also enticing the industry to work with research institutions, higher education institutions, or government organizations to solve the problems that they face to increase their productivity. And we also have innovative funding mechanism to do this. We have innovations to address food problem, health. We are also looking into transport and mobility, the energy issue that we have, the environment together with water, and of course climate and disaster resilience. Right. To support all of these programs, we need to have innovations on really making sure that our cadre of human resources are ready to be leaders for science, technology, and innovation. But now we added, aside from the traditional scholarship that we provide, we are adding entrepreneurship in the mix of training that they will be undergoing. We also are establishing innovative facilities to help the industry, to help the academe, to help even the small enterprises. And of course, within the DOST, we also have to be innovative in the ways we deal with each other to make sure that we become effective. So innovation is really making sure that we do something to improve our processes, to improve our products, to improve our services, and to also engage. So even in governance, we can innovate.
Right. So, and this is nothing new, if I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, this is nothing new really to DOST. I've been hearing about all of these programs supporting scientists, innovators, inventors. This has been really at the core of DOST from the beginning. Is that a correct impression?
It is, although we would want to enhance it better by really establishing a single narrative for every thematic area that we are dealing with. And it is good to really engage at the get-go, at the ideation stage, not only the academe, but more importantly, either the national or local government or an industry partner. So we can make sure that the innovations that we do, there would be someone or some organization to really sustain this.
I think that's that's a good thing, because that's something that maybe correct me if I'm wrong, I thought was missing before. That there were inventions, but what was lacking was the commercialization now of, and this is where that partnership comes in, right?
And as a scientist myself, we typically have this technical perspective when we deal with things, when we do proposals. But we need to have the market perspective or the entrepreneurship perspective. So it is important that we work together with others. So that's why at the Department of Science and Technology, we wanted to establish a facilitative research and development environment where we deal not only with scientists from the academe or other research institutions, we deal with product engineers, we deal with marketing specialists, we should deal with business development practitioners. We need to be dealing with entrepreneurs or businesses. And that is an important step that we need to take to really make an impact to the Philippine economy and social well-being of Filipinos.
Can you talk about the programs for innovators? For instance, are there specific sectors? There's so many places where you can have innovation, right? Is there a particular sector that you're looking at or you're trying to support, so that you begin with the innovators there? For example, I mean, we've been talking about agriculture in the Philippines as another priority area of the president. Is that a priority, innovation in agriculture, or are you looking at, maybe because of the pandemic, innovation in medicine and public health, or somewhere else? Where? I mean, there's so many.
In almost all aspects of innovation.
What is the priority?
In agriculture, it is such a big issue, and there are so many government organizations involved, and of course private industry. In terms of production of commodities like rice, there are specialized organizations. What we do is to develop innovative products to help the production of agricultural commodities. For example, in rice, the challenge is to increase its productivity. So through irrigation of the seaweed, for example, we developed the carrageenan plant growth promoter. It's a foliage fertilizer. The product, after bombarding the seaweed with electron beam, we spray it on the leaves of the plants. And of course, the stomata would absorb the nutrients and increases rice production by 15 to 30%. And other crops. If you're a plantito or plantita, you can also use that for spraying, and your ornamental plant will really be healthy. And the other is the issue on really cost of fertilizer. We need to look into biofertilizer or some other products to reduce the inorganic fertilizer needed. So there are many things. On transportation, we have been assisting higher education organizations or the industry, and we have so far developed prototypes for electric tricycles that actually are converted tricycles into electric ones. We have e-jeepneys. Also, the flexible platform for either jeepney or a van.
Yeah.
We have also worked
think
with
a
the
few-
industry on developing electronic vessels.
Yeah. A few years ago, there was some project at the OST. It's sort of like a light rail.
Yes.
Is that still alive? I mean,
It is still alive. We
Okay.
have donated the hybrid
to UP
electric train to PNR.
a PNR,
And it's running in the northern, southern leg in Calamba.
wow, okay.
And essentially, this is already transferred to PNR, but we wanted
Okay.
to have this adopted. Why? Because if, for example, we have a good transport system, hybrid
Okay.
electric train.
Yeah.
The other one is shipbuilding. We need to modernize our ships. We
Right.
also have this project
Right.
where we actually are developing together with a state university and a private company
Okay.
a hybrid trimaran
Okay.
where you can use where you can use the wave energy to power the boat.
That's so interesting. Okay.
And if possible, if you cannot power the boat, you can use it to power the refrigeration system,
The system
of fishing vessel.
Yeah.
So that our fishermen can go further out into the sea.
Right.
So that's one. And so that's for transport.
Yeah.
We are also into developing the advanced batteries because advanced batteries would be needed for our electric vehicle.
Right.
But to do all of this, we need to make sure that the right facilities are there, the right training would be given to our kababayan. So we are also not only into research, but also establishing facilities that will help the industry, and also training to help make our kababayans more skilled.
Yeah.
We also have something into health.
Yeah.
We're developing or discovering drugs
Yeah.
from all sorts of sources. For example, on our native plants.
Yes.
Of course, the good example is the lagundi, right? But some scientists are looking into marine sediments to find bacteria that can be converted to medicine.
Interesting.
Ang sabi ko nga, I wanted the program laymanized. Either it's bacteria sa buhangin,
Right.
but if you convert it to medicine, gamot mula sa buhangin. Something like that.
Okay.
We are also into biomedical devices.
Yeah.
For example, yesterday, Director Burgos and I came from Bohol, where we had a national convention of our DOST employees and private organizations, UP Manila and UP Diliman, who created the RX box, a telemedical device
Right.
that can actually be very useful for isolated places or areas which would not have specialists.
Okay.
Typically, specialists reside in cities,
Okay.
but not in the barrios.
Right.
And if there are people who need immediate attention, you need to get their vital statistics.
And that's where your box comes in.
Yes, and so we have distributed almost 1,000 boxes already.
Wow.
And we hope to continue it, and we will continue it through another program that we are really advocating, and this is the development of smart and sustainable communities,
Okay.
where DOST will provide all the innovations that we have produced to a partner local government to improve their governance. And of course, invite the private industry, if they want to work with the local government. Especially now that the era of the local government has increased because of the Mandanas ruling.
Right.
I think it's now the time to really make sure that the local governments partner with agencies and prove to our kababayans that through science, technology, and innovation, we can really achieve. Ang sabi ko nga sa Tagalog, sa siyensya at teknolohiya, negosyo at kikita. Sa siyensya at teknolohiya, kasama na siyempre inobasyon, industriya arangkada, sa siyensya at teknolohiya, buhay ay gaganda. Kalusugan ay sisigla. So, I think the strategy for us is to not only introduce science as before, but
Livelihood.
livelihood is the focus. Because bottom line, people want to
Has to make
achieve
economic sense,
economically,
yeah.
right? And if we can show to the parents that going to science, technology, engineering, agriculture, creative arts, mathematics would mean something that they will get their dream out of it, then they might be able to encourage more youth, more students to go into STEM.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. We just have to insert our own livelihood in the intervention. So we'll be right back with Secretary Solidum. Secretary Solidum, you were talking about the importance of really commercializing this, but really to make it work, we need people in science fields, right?
Yes.
There was a study that was released by PIDS saying that they discovered a troubling trend that among younger learners, fewer and fewer of them are going into the STEM, the science, mathematics particularly, because they find it too difficult. I don't know what happened to the DOST study, because the DOST, I think during the previous administration, was conducting its own studies, and they were saying that it was the opposite. But anyway, I think it's worth discussing really how we make science and mathematics interesting, and I think you have a formula for doing that. Yeah.
We have to do everything seriously but with fun.
Okay.
Learning is a journey.
Okay.
And my experience in the United States, and of course comparing this to what I got as an education, helped me understand that the key to really encouraging the youth to really go into science, engineering, math, creative arts, for example, would be to make education fun. And have our young be more inquisitive, not memorization. Maybe if we can lighten the load and focus on important things and make sure that we have innovative ways of educating. We need to look into the 21st century educational system, where right now, based on my kids' experience as well, they learn a lot from the gadgets or from the social media or from TV. And they learn many things from there. So together with different organizations under DOST, we have been producing educational materials. The other issue is the lack of resources where students can also learn something new. That is why with the development of a library in a box, where Science Technology Information Institute has been pioneering, we're giving them the star books, and I'd ask
the star books,
I'd ask Director Burgos to explain it further, to make sure that these can be given, and we can have as many industry partners as possible to donate some of the computer. The other thing that I'd like to plug in to really popularize science, technology, engineering, math, and many others, is we will develop the hold for the first time a consolidated contest for science, engineering, math into the National Science and Technology Youth Festival. It's like an Olympics of contests, from robotics to quizzes to jingle making. I'll ask Yusek Sahagon to explain it.
Okay.
So perhaps we can ask Director Burgos.
The Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Starbucks sounds like a popular brand of coffee. But that was a very deliberate attempt to make it relatable. So you see, STII, or the Science and Technology Information Institute of the DOST, is mandated to maintain a library and a data bank for science and technology information. The library is there. 13 years ago, we started digitizing our content, so it's accessible online.
Okay.
But in the country, especially in the regions where the internet is not easily available, we were worried about how to make our content available to them.
Yeah.
So we created a pod with a computer inside, and inside the computer is a copy of our digital library.
Oh, wow.
So you bring that to the school, immediately, offline, they have access to our content.
Wow.
Not only to school, sometimes in the local government unit office.
Yes. The mayor's
office sometimes.
Because of the content in our collection that includes livelihood videos, some LGU leaders think, it's better in our municipio, so while waiting to pay taxes, they can learn a few things. So it's very good appreciation. But today there are 6,300 of these pods all around the country, right? So it's been a help. What is important is that the Department of Education has actually adopted Starbucks. It's now included in their Learning Commons, and they have committed to preload it in all the computers and gadgets that they will deploy throughout the country.
Right.
And that's starting. So when they train their people on the ground, especially at the regional level, we send our people to train them as well.
What age group are you trying to target with the Starbucks? Are these grade school, high school,
right? Well,
or younger, or all of them?
All of the above.
All of them.
But what is essential is that we do have learning modules for science and math that are aligned with the competency-based instruction of DepEd, K to 12. Yeah. So learning materials are available, and this will help teachers as well as learners. All right, because everything is there. How to prepare for the lesson, how to give the lesson, the contents, and even the quiz that will follow later. So it's very functional, right?
Yeah. So what's the offer? Are you inviting mayors to contact their local DOST office? And is that the process, or
that's the process?
What's the proper way?
They signify, and then we will either have it the communication sent directly to either my office or the office of STII or the regional or provincial offices, because it's a program of the department. Of course, we want many other partners who can donate more equipment so that we can provide. Maybe you can mention about this.
The Starbucks program is that it is included in the NEDA National Priority Plan. Under this plan, if people donate to the program, they enjoy a tax deduction. Right?
Oh,
so we've had many partners, interested to support us. In fact, over the last 7 years, we've generated more than 13 million pesos worth of donations to the program. And the reason is we don't donate hardware.
Correct.
It has to be given to us so we can donate, right?
I see.
So we donate our software, our content, and training is free, but hardware, that has to come from somewhere.
I see.
Right? So, two modalities. One is if the school already has hardware, they can call us. Or
And then you
us.
will just send it,
and we'll
send it
just,
to them.
train. Or if there are donors who want to benefit a certain school, maybe they graduated from that school, alumni, many of them organize themselves and put together a donation to the school, and we come in and put in our content.
Interesting. What about you,
Festival?
Yes, as mentioned by the Secretary, we will be holding for the first time a National Science, Technology, and Innovation Youth Festival.
Wow.
Sometime in February.
August.
Sometime in October.
October.
Yes.
I think maybe we can partner you because the
Yeah,
anniversary of the
October.
Manila Times is also October.
Yes.
Okay.
October for the first time.
Okay.
So we are consolidating all the youth-related activities and programs of the department and showcase this during the festival. So there will be robotics competitions. There
Wow.
will be some fun parts like storytelling about science
Right.
concepts. There will also be exhibits. There will also be presentation of theses, undergraduate theses, and works of our scholars and innovators. But the theme is really youth and fun in science, technology,
Make it
innovation.
fun. And of course, there will be preliminaries starting from the provinces and the region. It's
Right.
like an Olympics because before
Yeah.
we had many agencies having their own competition.
Right.
And they will undergo qualifying
Okay.
and so we wanted to make it as one so that it will be more impactful.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we'll take another quick break right there, and then we'll continue discussion with Secretary Saludum and his team.
Magandang umaga Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Maayong buntag mga kapartner. Magandang araw sa buong mundo.
Magandang araw Pilipinas! Ito ang Pulso ng Bayan.
Hihimayin ang mga pangunahing issue sa ating bayan. Susuriin ang mga kinakailangang malaman ng taong bayan. Aalamin ang pulso ng bawat Pilipino sa mga pangyayari sa ating lipunan. Pulso ng Bayan, alas 7 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga, tuwing Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Kasama ang spokes ng Bayan, Attorney Harry Roque, Admar Vilando at Jade Calabroso. Dito lang sa SMNI.
Secretary Saludum, there's so many things going on in the OST. So many good programs. And yet, the impression I get, and forgive me if I'm wrong here, that, the department has been flying under the radar for so long. I mean, very few people hear about it, except maybe when, we get to, the Balik Scientist Awards, something major like that. But there are so many other things going on, right? But I notice now that you have a TV program. Maybe talk about how you're getting the word out about the many, projects that you guys are doing.
Yeah, there are many plans that we have to really communicate what we do because science communication is necessary so that we can actually show and encourage the youth to get into science, in technology and engineering, mathematics, and many other related sciences. We also need to inform our stakeholders, local government, national government agencies, and individual people who wanted to go into businesses which can be assisted by science, technology, and innovation. And that is why we have so many communication efforts. Of course, each agency of the DOST would have one. And of course, the well-known organizations under DOC would be PAGASA and PHIVOX. But we need to make sure that we have innovative ways of communicating good news to the people. And that is why we have the DOST TV, which started in the past administration. But we have programs now that are new, like the DOST report every Friday to bring out the good news and talk about certain issues that really matter. So, beginning this administration, we refocused the DOST report on the President's agenda.
Okay.
So that it will be more clear.
Right.
It's not scattered all over. So we have
Right.
themes every Friday. So let me ask
Yeah.
again Director
Well,
Burgos to explain it further.
Director,
Thank you, Secretary.
are you a talent on your DOC TV? I mean,
I am the one reporting, not him anymore.
I think you do better interviewing the secretary than
Well, it's been a privilege to come in and join the department at the point where we were the best kept secret of government.
yeah. I think that.
But the situation is not like that anymore. I think, so when I came on board, the marching order for me was to make DOS TV run because nobody was producing anything from there.
Yeah.
So we did that, and after a while we were on PTV4, we were on GMA News TV, we are now on CNN, and that has really increased
That's
our
fantastic.
audience share, right?
Yeah.
And also, interestingly, when I came on board, we did not even have a metric on the national awareness level for science, technology, and innovation information. And so we hired a writer for SWS National Survey. And in 2017, the results came in at a dismal 6%. You know,
Okay.
only 6% of those interviewed learned or read something about science and technology.
Yeah. But at least you
That has-
at least
that
you
has
know where you.
changed.
At
Yeah,
least
of course, we need to know that.
You need to know that, right?
That has
I mean,
changed. Today
yeah.
is at
Yeah.
47%.
Last December.
Last December.
December. Wow, congratulations.
That was a big change. That
Yeah.
was really a big change. And that is because everybody is consciously communicating. We're learning how to communicate better. We are on social media, which was not there before.
Yeah.
All right. We even have a science communication agenda.
Okay.
All right. To guide all our efforts.
I notice you also have. I think you're training journalists to write
Science
about
journal.
science
Yes.
journalism, right?
We have a program to help campus editors write science news, right?
Fantastic.
And it's interesting, and maybe that's an area we can collaborate
Sure.
with the Manila Times School of Journalism,
Sure,
right? Because
sure.
because we do have
Yeah.
some kind of expertise in
Yeah.
that regard. no?
Yeah.
So very interesting. The communicators at DOST now want to come together. We have what we call a media core, and these are representatives of all the agencies who are in one way or another involved in communicating, right? But the very, I think, principal factor here is under the new administration, and for the first time, I think, we see communication and linkages right at the very heart of our strategic thrusts, no? So with communication and linkages in place, I think it will not be far-fetched to see the day when science and technology and innovation information will become household information, to be shared by all.
The other focus now in communicating science is that we need to be working together as one department.
Yes.
We can have so many spokespersons, but
Yeah.
we need to have one DOST
Right.
for the public. That's why
Right.
we have in our hashtag Science for the People,
Right.
but we added the hashtag one DOST for you.
Okay.
So for example, if you need something from us, we hope to make sure that we actually provide you all the possible assistance from different groups.
Right.
But we also need to make sure that this is a dream for me, that for every DOST employee, that they will be an ambassador not only for their agency,
Yeah.
but for the DOST system.
Yeah. You were saying a while ago that one of the things missing is this collaboration between DOST or the government at large and private sector, right?
There were collaborations, but we need to further
Yeah.
scale up and ramp it up.
So those who are watching this interview, what's the process? Who do they go to? I mean, I'm sure Manila Times is not the only media company in the Philippines that will come to you, because I think I speak for the industry when I say that there's really a lack of journalistic talent who can write authoritatively on science matters, right? Politics, no problem. Sports, no problem. Lifestyle, no problem. But when it comes to science, there's scarcity there in talent. But how can industry? What's the process? How can industry partner with you?
It depends. Now, if they're based in like Manila or in other provinces,
Yeah.
we have regional offices,
Okay.
or provincial offices that can entertain them,
Okay.
and they will elevate
Okay.
the need the needed assistance
Okay.
from whoever to the appropriate level of DOST within the DOST system.
Okay.
So if it's a program that it's at the program level, then it will be tackled at the national level.
Okay.
There are various modalities of how we can deal with the industry.
Okay.
For example, hopefully soon, and this is in the works, I will sign an memorandum of understanding with PCCI National.
Okay.
So that they will be our partners in
That's great.
the ideation stage
Yeah.
and making sure that they also know
Yeah.
the innovations that we have.
Right.
We're preparing the launch of the DOST Techno Hub.
Right.
This idea I have in mind, because I have done this at Fivox,
Okay.
is to develop a web and mobile app
Okay.
where people can find, if they're interested in doing business or adopting
Okay.
innovation from DOST, a list
Okay.
of technologies that can be used for commercialization.
Right.
We will put in there those that developed it so that they can directly talk to the owner and the adapters of the technology so that they can actually evaluate if it's effective or not.
Yeah.
We're also putting there in the DOST Techno Hub the facilities that we have that can support the industry.
Right.
And we want a network of laboratories within DOST that will not only be a service facility, but a research and development collaborative facility,
Yeah.
and together with the academic and learning journey facility. So we can learn together
That's
as we work. So all of this will be placed there.
Yeah.
And of course it will be improved with time, but the important thing is we put out the technologies,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you would say that you don't know many of those because it's not available.
Right,
It's from different agencies.
Yeah.
That's why we are really focusing on our mantra, one DOST for you to really
Right.
consolidate,
Right.
and a single touch point
Right.
will be provided to them.
Yeah. The other thing that I noticed, you have scholarships for those interested to study science and technology. I think you also have programs, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's programs for inventors.
Yes, we have.
I don't know if it comes in grants or incubation something.
We have
Maybe you can talk
yeah.
about that, yeah.
There are research entrepreneurs, so we do provide R&D funding. But there are also another track where we have inventors. If they have the patent already from IPOFIL, then they can ask money for grants to commercialize, to further improve. And this is under the supervision of Undersecretary Sahagun.
Okay.
And of course, for startups, we have grant for startups.
Yeah.
We have been establishing technology business incubation hubs.
Okay.
More than 50 already all over the Philippines
Okay.
in higher education institutions. And we even have like centers, innovation centers for food, metals engineering, also in SUCs. The other innovation that we have is the establishment of the niche centers for R&D in the region,
Yeah.
where we provide funding for a group of higher education institutions to address regional and national problems, where they develop their expertise from disasters to health to agricultural commodities, both land and aqua, to advanced batteries. Any research idea can be funded. And we support
Yeah.
also the scholarships, not
Yeah.
only for undergraduate, but for master's and PhD, so that we can really ramp up
Yeah.
the engineer scientists that are available to do R&D and innovate.
Yeah. Yusek Sago, before we go on break, maybe you want to add something because that was your program. So before we go on break,
Yes, we have a Technology Application and Promotion Institute which provides assistance to our innovators and inventors. And among those assistance include the protection of intellectual property and then commercialization of these patents and utility models so that, as mentioned by the Secretary, that would create wealth for our inventors and then encourage our youth to become inventors themselves and scientists.
That's a dream. All right, we'll just take another quick break and then we'll be right back with Secretary Saladum and his team.
problema nyo, itawag kay Panelo. Ikaw ba'y may suliranin na may kinalaman sa mga ahensya ng ating pamahalaan? Inihahandog ng SMNI ang programang makakapiling ninyo sa araw-araw na maaari ninyong maging daingan. Tampok ang dating Chief Legal Counsel ng nakaraang Pangulo, ang veteranong abogado na si Attorney Salvador Sal Panelo.
Bishops.
Tulong at payo tagapamagitan sa ating mga lingkod bayan. Problema nyo, itawag kay Panelo. Lunes hanggang Biyernes alas 9 hanggang alas 10 ng umaga dito lamang sa SMNI. Ang totoong boses ng bayan.
Secretary, I don't think we can avoid today's discussion without mentioning your previous work
Yes.
at Vivox. It wasn't long ago that we were hearing about Turkey, right? The terrible earthquake over there, Turkey and Syria. In fact, the last time I think we had you over here was we were talking about the fault lines in Manila.
Yeah.
And then, what are some of the developments or some of the maybe reactions you have, and are there any lessons there from what we saw in Turkey that should remind us about here in the Philippines in terms of policy? I don't know,
Yes.
disaster resilience, preparation, right?
The focus of most of our discussion would be to use science, technology, and innovation to create wealth, wealth creation.
Yeah.
But the Philippines is a country prone to many natural hazards, including earthquakes, tropical cyclones,
Yeah.
floods, landslides, volcanic eruptions, sometimes tsunami or storm surge. We need to protect not only lives and livelihood.
Yeah.
So in tandem with the wealth creation advocacy of DOST is the wealth protection.
Yes.
By making sure that citizens, families, local governments, and national government would be ready and be resilient for natural hazards and, of course, the climate change.
Right.
What happened in Turkey is a scenario that can happen to us because, like Turkey, we have so many active faults that can generate major earthquake events. The magnitude of the Turkey earthquake was 7.8, and we had one in 1990, the Luzon earthquake, which devastated Central Luzon and Baguio.
Yeah.
What added into the impact in Turkey would be, one, the resilience or sturdiness of buildings,
Okay.
and of course, the time of the earthquake, which happened early in the morning.
Yeah. People were still asleep.
People were asleep, so the reaction will be very different.
Yeah.
Key to earthquake preparedness would be the resilience of buildings.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Turkey event, many of the buildings had a pancake collapse.
Yeah.
Meaning it vertically went down,
Yeah.
meaning that there were stories, or at least one, that is what we call soft story. A
Okay.
soft story is the weakest link.
Okay.
And typically, this would be the story where there are no walls,
Okay.
which can absorb the energy.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous because the newsroom doesn't have many walls.
And typically, buildings, especially mid-rise to tall buildings, have their lower floor only made up of glasses
Yes.
because they have stores inside.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
And parking sometimes.
Parking.
So you have to make sure that the columns are wider and bigger
Okay.
or have braces. So that is a clue to us that the key to our earthquake resilience is to make our structures and buildings strong.
Okay.
And the scenario that we have in Metro Manila, where a 7.2 earthquake can be generated by the movement of the West Valley Fault, would mean that we have to prepare for this.
Yeah.
Because it moves every 400 to 600 years, the West Valley Fault. And the last movement was 1600s. We're close to the 400-year lower limit.
Oh.
And so, but we can do something.
Okay.
If we don't do anything now, the estimated casualty is 50,000.
In the Philippines.
For the West Valley Fault,
For the West Valley Fault only.
Metro Manila, Central Zone, and Calabar Zone
Wow.
to be affected. And imagine this number of people, 10% of low-rise to mid-rise buildings can be heavily affected or collapsed.
Right.
And so what we need to do now is, one, strengthen our buildings, especially the critical ones. At the local level, we need the local governments focus on inspecting houses and buildings
Okay.
and encourage retrofitting of those that can collapse. At the national level, critical facilities, public buildings should be strengthened. We need to encourage partnership among local governments outside of Metro Manila, Calabar Zone, and Region 3 to assist in case there's an earthquake in Metro Manila, but we need to capacitate them. Having a sister city relationship between the city and Metro Manila and those outside of the regions that I mentioned would be very effective. Now, critical though to all of this preparedness is the availability of information
Okay.
so that people would know what hazards will affect them.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, alam nila kung paano sila mamamatay, anong
Yeah.
hazard ang papatay sa kanila.
Yeah.
So, DOS-EVOX developed a very good digital transformation program called
Okay.
Geo-Risk Philippines Initiative.
Okay.
And under this would be several applications,
Yeah.
and one of which is Hazard Hunter.
Okay.
You can double-click any point in the Philippines,
Okay.
and if the internet speed is fast,
Okay.
you can have an assessment of all the hazards.
Just saw that.
Earthquake-related,
Wow. Okay.
volcano-related,
Okay.
weather-related,
Yeah.
even climate change projection
Right.
in less than 1 minute,
Wow.
together with recommendation as what to do. So these innovations are critical so that people would know what hazards they need to prepare for. For earthquake, we also digitally transformed an old methodology, and it's now called How Safe Is My House app.
Okay.
If you have a 1 to 2 story concrete hollow block house,
Okay.
you'll be able to assess if the house will withstand an earthquake or not.
Right.
So, better to use it now. It's all available. Just Google it.
Yeah.
Now, all of these apps can also be integrated into an automated planning for local government.
Okay.
We have this app, Plan Smart,
Okay.
ready to rebuild. That if you type the city or town, the app will prepare all the hazard maps, assess the risk of the population and buildings, and in the end, the planner of a town or city would be able to find out the risk, and then through a drop-down menu of intervention, then they can now plan what interventions they would be able to use and push at the end of the app, push the button, and a report will be prepared.
Did you say that these apps are available or under development?
No, it's available.
It's
and
available.
it's the only kind of app in the world which is
Okay.
a planning, automated planning.
And the app is called Plan App?
Plan Smart.
Plan
but
Smart.
we train the LGUs. It's
Okay.
not available to the public. It's for
Okay.
the LGUs.
That's for LGUs.
But for the Hazard Hunter, it's available to the public.
That's the name of the app, Hazard
Hazard
Hunter.
Hunter PH.
Okay, and it's available on, say, App Store.
App Store and web. You need to have the internet
Right, right, right.
to really access it.
To make it work.
Yeah, and imagine if you're a proponent for
Okay.
like a mining company or for a real estate.
Right.
You need an ECC, environmental compliance certification from DNR.
Okay.
You need to go to FIVOX, Bagasan, MGB
Right,
before physically, and you wait for several weeks.
right.
You can do it in less than 1 minute
Wow,
for free.
wow, wow.
For free. And all the banks now are accessing this to assess the assets that they have in the bank.
Is there, I think, do you think a time when maybe the public side or the commercial side will use, like say, Hazard Hunter?
It's being used now by the banks.
I mean, to replace many of the paperwork that.
yes, they can.
Okay.
We actually advocate for the use of the apps.
Because
So
that's one of the complaints, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
the ease of doing business, right?
it responds to the ease of doing business. Imagine
Okay.
you wait for like, let's say, a week or 2 weeks.
Right,
You can do it in less than 1 minute.
right. Wow.
And the automated planning for recovery after a major disaster
Right.
is done 6 months or more.
Wow.
And local government would not have any specialist.
Right.
Geographic information specialist.
It's already there.
It's already there.
Right.
And you can do it in like several days if you really know.
Wow.
So it revolutionizes the effort. And in fact, the GeoRisk Philippines initiative is being supported by our international partners. They ask potential partners to really use it.
Would you recommend? Are there applications there for ordinary people like myself? I mean, if I just want to say, for example, how safe is my
Yes,
home?
there is.
I mean, is that
Yeah, the How Safe Is My House for earthquake is there.
Yeah.
And we're developing many other apps.
Yeah.
When we say we, together with FIVOX and other agencies of DSP, like we plan to develop Plan Smart for safe schools, Plan Smart for safe hospitals, Plan Smart for resilient tourism, Plan Smart for resilient housing.
I'm still stuck on that 50,000 that you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
So what if I use the app, just to say like, for example, how safe our building is, right? And it tells me that does it give me information on I should contact FIVOX or I should contact my contractor? I should
okay.
Or what's
for earthquake, you need to contact engineers, either your contractor or building official in the city or town.
Okay.
Because it is there in the app.
Okay.
Once you will get a score.
Okay.
And then for every range of score, we show a video what will happen to the house. I mean, it's just an example.
Right.
Like it will collapse or not collapse.
Right.
And then there's a recommendation if they need to see a specialist or not.
Right. Well, it's been very interesting, but I know you're very busy, and that's our time for today. But maybe before we go, maybe we can get some statements from you. Maybe we'll get the secretary last. Maybe director. Maybe just some final thoughts. Maybe tell them when to watch your DOC TV.
Right, thank you, Klink. And it's really a pleasure to join you here this morning. And yes, the DOST Science and Technology Information Institute is here to help communicate science for the people to the people, right? And we have a number of platforms to do that. We have our publications, which are now going digital. We have our DOS TV program on CNN right now. We have a series of shows there. But also we have our own broadcast, live streamed, to feature, for example, the latest developments in the department as they happen week on week. And that is something that our media friends look forward to because they hear it first from DOS TV.
Every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m.
That's right.
I'm the one being with another person where they co-host and we interview people. And then Expert Talk every Wednesday, talking about special topics that can be useful to our kababayans. Every Wednesday is also, is it 3 or 4? I forgot, but Wednesday is afternoon.
Okay.
Yes, I would just like to again mention that there's one DOST for you. So we have various programs from research and development, human resource development, technology, commercialization, upscaling of the industry's competitiveness, and all the works to assist our businesses, enterprises, students, teachers, and in all sectors of the society through science, technology, innovation. So the DOST presence is all over the country, from the provincial offices, regional offices, and of course here in the NCR, where we have our Research and Development Institute and Science and Technology Services Institutes to help and assist all our kababayan. So please visit our website also. We have a website where all the services of DOST are available.
Great. And Secretary?
Thank you very much for this opportunity to our kababayans. Science, technology, and innovation is the way to go. It will help you in your business, the industry will progress, but most importantly, it will improve our lives. We at the Department of Science and Technology, together with the rest of the scientific community, would be very willing to partner with national government agencies, local governments, industries, businesses, and the academy to make sure that we provide the appropriate science-based solutions to real problems in this real world. Kami po ay isang DOST for you sa siyensya, teknolohiya at inobasyon. Marami tayong mapapakinabangan. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Manila Times for this opportunity we need to partner in our science communication campaign so our people will really see that science, technology, and innovation can create wealth. Science, technology, and innovation can protect the wealth that we create. Science, technology, and innovation can improve our human well-being. And more importantly, science, technology, and innovation can sustain not only our environment for the future generation, but also sustain our hopes and dreams of being economically and socially developed.
Oh, Secretary, thank you very much. And it's good if I just may add, maybe if you're still open to another TV partner, I think
Sure.
my friends at SMNI would also be interested in reaching out. But
Sure.
I will ask him to reach out later.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yusek, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
too.
Director. Thank you. Okay. All right. This has been a special episode of Business and Politics. I'd like to thank all those watching the program and those watching the replay. I'd also like to thank Pastor Apollo Kibuloy for making this program possible. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
Magandang umaga Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Maayong buntag mga kapartner. Magandang araw sa buong mundo.
Magandang araw, Pilipinas!
Subscribe to SMNI News Channel and turn on the notification bell to keep you up to date. Also visit our official social media accounts and join our community on Viber and Telegram.